EDO is a data and analytics company that measures the effectiveness of advertising on television across platforms by capturing the immediate behavioral response to TV ads. We've been focused on the middle of the funnel, the moment, trying to capture the moment when viewers go from being passive to active with brands. Our focus has been on what are the behaviors that are capturable, that are most indicative of engagement and intent, and for us that's really been a big focus on search. So yeah.
Interesting. Okay, it's so interesting. I love this stuff. So can you talk a little bit about how you are being used by? Maybe we'll start with the sell side, and we'll talk then the buy side.
Yeah. So let's talk about the sell side for a second. So EDO is an always-on, real-time, fully syndicated ad effectiveness platform. We work with all the television networks, the ad sales teams, research teams, and increasingly the advanced advertising teams that are using us for everything across the ad sales gamut, and increasingly also for promo measurement as well with particular networks. Obviously the bread and butter is looking at post-buy performance, so a campaign runs on TV. Our data is being used to help validate performance, prove performance, for the sales teams to go back to the brands and the agencies to highlight how things perform in their environment versus the competitors. Because we are fully syndicated, meaning we're capturing everything across the entire national television landscape, they're able to highlight performance about how things are performing within their environment versus all of their competitors. They're also using us increasingly for pre-selling, positioning in the marketplace, particularly in the upfront now where they can go out and highlight, well, what are the environments within our, how do we perform versus, again, our competitors, looking at 7 years of historical data to help kind of make the case of how you should be spending more money with them. But increasingly, it's about moving the data further upstream, right? How do you take this syndicated always-on data set, behavioral data set, and plan against it? And that's what we're seeing increasingly. We're partnering with the likes of Univision, and then with Media Hub on the agency side. Univision is basically using our data to not only measure performance, but plan against it as well, because there's a big belief out there, we certainly feel this way, that you should be looking at the same data when you're planning and measuring. That's how you're going to optimize for results. And within the advanced advertising and data-driven linear world, it's not just about highlighting performance against a particular audience segment, but it's also about making sure that you're in the right environment as well. So what we're doing is working with networks to use our data to ensure that that's happening. And in fact, we're beginning to explore fusing our data with audience segmentation data as we speak to help make sure that campaigns are optimized.
Do you feel like there's progress in that direction, or does it feel like the Univision Media Hub example is still quite rare?
It's a great question. There's definite progress in that direction. Networks like Discovery is jumping on board. A&E is doing more of this. What we're seeing is the more innovative and forward-thinking advanced advertising teams who basically are being challenged to use new metrics, behavioral metrics, outcome metrics, to prove performance are coming to us and saying, yeah, we're already using you to measure performance. Why should we not be using you to also plan and optimize the campaigns as well?
I mean, that feels like a big mindset shift, yes?
It's definitely it's a big mindset shift moving from age gender demos for guarantees to audience segmentations. Oh, I want to reach insurance intenders. Great. That was a big move into the advanced advertising world, and that's why every single network group built teams to help empower that and enable that. We're just the next step in that chain, which is don't just look at reaching the right audience of people who are likely in the market to buy insurance, but do it where insurance intenders are going to be most receptive to ads for that brand.
So it's not just about capturing intent, it's about increasing the likelihood of driving intent?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, our whole business has been grounded on this concept of everything's going to start with, you're sitting with a second screen and device in your hand, and if you see something that is of interest to you, aside from implanting a chip in our brain, how do you capture that visceral immediate response to advertising? It's picking up your phone, your tablet, and Googling it. So we firmly believe that people are doing that because they're engaged, they're interested, they're curious, and they intend to do something, and they will, it's that entry point down the funnel that we're capturing ultimately to purchase.
So can you talk about how you're helping, I mean, you mentioned obviously Mike and the work at Media Hub. Talk about how you're helping the buy side.
Oh, great. So we're working with brands and their agencies across a whole host of categories. Marketers are using our data increasingly to make more informed media investment decisions, creative optimization decisions, competitive intelligence. Our measurement does not just look at performance for a brand. They don't even have to sign up. We're capturing everything automatically in terms of search engagement for the brand. What we capture is performance for them and their entire competitive set. So what they're able to understand is what's working well, what could they be doing better, both on the media and the creative front, and how is that performing in the context of all of their competitors to understand how the category is performing. Because there may be programs that your competitors are buying that happen to be great environments in terms of engagement for them, but you may not have bought that before. You can look at the category level data to make more informed decisions, say this is a great environment for me as a telco advertiser, even though I haven't bought it before, because I'm looking and I'm seeing that all of my competitors have bought it and it really has popped in terms of being a highly engaging environment for the category.
Can you talk a little bit about how you're evolving beyond linear TV?
Absolutely. So EDO is absolutely making a big push beyond the world of linear TV. That's where we started, looking at live linear television and looking at the spikes in search activity that occur when an ad runs on linear TV. In Q4 of last year, we launched EDO Convergent, which is a push obviously to capture advertising across all platforms in terms of premium video, regardless of how people are consuming it. Obviously, that brings us into the on-demand world, the OTT world, and that certainly means we've evolved our methodologies to bring in new data sets in order to empower that. But ultimately, it's about capturing things like not just search, but also moving further down funnel to things like site visitation, but doing that in a fully scaled way, still without having to pixel or tag campaigns. So that's really kind of building upon what EDO has been known for, which is, again, this syndicated, fully passive, seamless platform for capturing ad effectiveness.